All right,
Welcome.
all right.
Hey.
Which one do you want to view first?
Welcome. Oh,
All right.
hey.
Which one do you want to view first?
Welcome. Hold on, I
All
had
right.
a stream
Which
preview
one do you
on.
want to view
Welcome.
first?
Oh my god. Okay. That echo was terrible. Okay, so tournament has already started. We've got a few games going on. A few games have ended, and next round has started. We're gonna have an 8-player tournament between
Yes.
Lolowut, Zakim, GW Bush, Zerby, Heda, Steel City, Arc 77, and Aggressive Numbers.
Mm-hmm. That's a
Uh,
great name.
Additionally, Fred War and Hey Hugh Hey or HHH did not join the tournament quite fast enough, so they didn't get in. We're just doing it down to an 8-person tournament to simplify things and make sure that we can get it all done in a timely fashion instead of recording for like 7 hours straight, which would not necessarily be very fun for anyone.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
so just to introduce ourselves, I am Mythonian. I've been recording WarLight for a bit with
Casey's Scrag right here.
Casey's Crag, yes. Um, you can see my YouTube channel at the bottom, Mythonian with a 0 for the O, because someone else stole the one without the O. There's the other one in the chat, yo. Okay, and so Casey's Crag has been my 2v2 partner for a while. We play a
Yeah.
lot of games together.
A while.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
But yeah, we play a lot of games together. We are brothers in real life, and we enjoy WarLight. So here we are.
WarLight's a fun game. We also record other games though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the first game and just go down the line.
All right. Simple enough.
So first game is Lolowut versus Zakim. So because of the
Yes,
nature of WarLight, we can't really do anything live right now. Maybe in the future, who knows?
An
So we're gonna have to go
observation.
through the history from the beginning and just analyze everything as the game goes on, or everything else like that. So right at the start, before we see any picks or anything, we can see wastelands and things like that that are on the map. This is using the strategic 1v1 settings, which we should have mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got wastelands in the Yukon, Iceland, Finland, Ukraine, Kyrgyzstan, Malaysia, and Queensland. So those are all 7 of them. That means that areas like everything except Canada in North America, all of South America, Africa, and some nice parts of Europe are all clean, able to get some good starting locations in there. So possible good starting locations could be East China, Southeast Asia,
India,
possibly in Africa. Yeah, India is a really good
Southeast
one.
Asia is
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
West
Possibly in
Africa.
Antarctica, South Africa or something. Various starting locations that are pretty good variety. So we're gonna see the territory picks and just see what they chose and maybe why they chose it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to make it live, you should play with no fog. Maybe in the future. We'll try something like that in the future. But for this tournament, we just decided to go with this, and maybe we can work with Fizzer on getting something that works well. Hopefully.
Yep, that'd be nice. We'll see. Anyway.
Okay, so we have for Zakiman his first pick in Brazil, second pick in Mali, third pick in Cameroon, and fourth pick in Somalia. He only chose those 4. In strategic 1v1, you get 3 starting locations. So that means if he got all 3 of his first picks, it would be Brazil, Mali, Cameroon. If Lolowut had chosen some of these and they contested them, then if he needed a 5th one, then he would just be given a random location on the map that wasn't already taken. Okay, but he chose Brazil, Mali, and Cameroon. So this means that he was deciding to focus around East or Northern Africa. Probably wasn't going to start in taking over South America with these locations. He could get all of West Africa in one turn, If he put all of his reinforcements in Cameroon, hit Chad and Congo, and then hit Nigeria and Ghana from Brazil and Mali, he would be able to get all of West Africa in one turn, although not guaranteed because he would only be hitting Nigeria and Ghana with 3 each instead of 4.
Yeah, but it's still that's not a bad bunch of picks. I it seems pretty cool. I like it. I like his picks for getting West Africa.
Okay, and then moving on to Lolowut, we can see what his picks were. He went first pick South Pole, second pick Madagascar, third pick Tura, fourth pick Brazil, and fifth pick Hong Kong. So ignoring what Zakim picked just a minute ago, we can say that he decided that he would sort of spread out a lot instead of focusing in one area. And then he may move from Madagascar to South Africa to help him get Antarctica in 2 turns because he can't get it in 1, or maybe and then work on South Africa after that. From Tora, he could slowly expand to Central Russia, or possibly check other bonuses around this area. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this move. It seems really slow to expand.
Yeah.
What are your
Let's
thoughts?
see.
Elaborate. Talk.
Well, it's yeah, you explained it pretty well. It's just, it seems like a pretty slow bunch of picks. uh,
Okay,
I'm
then. Well,
not
we'll
really
go on to the
sure
first turn.
why you would.
Yes.
I'm not sure why you would want South Africa as. Huh. I don't really see how South Africa would be particularly useful as a starting pick. Personally, I mean, it seems like it would take a while to get all of South Africa, so it seems like a waste of a pick to me. But Central Russia isn't bad, and Antarctica aren't bad. They're decent picks, except for South Africa.
Okay, then. So we'll go on to the first turn and see that, like expected, they got all their first picks. First 3 for each person.
Yep, there was really no overlap between them except Brazil.
But that was the 4th pick, so.
Yeah, so it didn't even matter.
No problem there. So without needing to explain any more about that, we can go on to some of the first moves. We can see deployments. Lolowut put 3 in South Pole, so that he wants to focus on getting Antarctica. This will allow him to get 2 territories, attack each with 3s.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zakim put 5 in Cameroon, so obviously, as expected, that will allow him the best odds of getting all of West Africa in 1 turn.
Well, I guess actually South Africa does provide a little bit more defense for Novo over there. That's not too bad. It gives him a little bit of space.
Yep.
It's not too bad, actually.
And Lolowut put his remaining guys in Madagascar and then Tura, respectively. This allows him to get 1 territory from each of these guaranteed by attacking it with 4. Not a bad move. And he, like expected, went to South Africa from Madagascar. And Zakim went to Chad and then Cameroon. Congo. So he got both those as expected. And then Lolowut got Omsk, which is a good territory. It touches a lot of territories. Lets him know that if someone's going for anything around here, and also puts him in a position to touch all of Central Russia next turn. And then works on 2 territories from there. Zakim finishes off West Africa, as he should, and gets the last 2 territories in Antarctica, or the 2 territories that he could have gotten in Antarctica. Both fine and dandy. Everyone gets a card because they all capture territories. And we move on to turn 2.
Yep.
Where we see Lolowut putting 2 in South Africa. That will allow him to get Novo in guaranteed.
Yep. So he gets that. And he also expands in West Russia.
Well,
no, East Central Russia.
Zakim puts 8 in Brazil. This will allow him to get a lot of South Africa in 1 turn. He can get 2 territories guaranteed. And then we see him put 1 in Chad, so he's probably going to expand into North Africa now. And then he puts 3 in Omsk, so he can expand somewhere else into West Russia now. And we see, yes, Zakim is going after North Africa now, which he should, because he already had the starting location in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I just heard from Lolowut that we are skipping Aggressive's game. Apparently it's taking too long or something due to time. Okay, so we'll get to
All
that
right.
when we go to that, but for now we'll continue on this. And we see that after getting Niger from Chad, he starts working on territories in South Africa. I don't really like this. He attacked 3 when he had 2. He should have attacked 2 with 4, but he hit that with 3. Hit Bolivia with 3. I don't know why he did that. May have been a misclick or something. Then he hits this with 5. I guess he expected someone to be in Central America. I'm not a big fan of that move.
Yeah, that seems. I guess if he really thought Central America was a risk, but I'm guessing that's more just a misclick, probably. Accidentally using 3 in one and 5 in the other.
Yeah. Okay, well, once
It
go
worked
through
out
the
for him,
cards.
though, either way.
Yep.
So it didn't matter.
Turn 3, Lolowut 2 in Ufa, Zakiman 5 in Brazil, and 1 in Venezuela, Lolowut 6 in Tura, and Zakiman 3 in Niger. So he's obviously going to get the rest of South America this turn. He can get it guaranteed now, because he has enough.
Yep.
In fact, I think he has one more than one more than necessary. So, but oh well. And then he's going to get one more territory in North Africa. I don't know why he's leaving this extra guy in Congo, though. I would have moved that up to Chad and use it to help getting North Africa. So, he probably should have moved that guy out of Congo.
Maybe he just didn't think about it.
Maybe.
That one guy isn't too big a deal.
And
It's
then
okay.
Lolowut is going to finish, or try to finish off Central Russia. He's going to be able to hit Dudinka with 4 and Jestedge and Tomsk with 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
And
see
that
if that's
works
what they
out
do.
pretty well.
Yep. He goes after that. He gets Zakiman gets Colombia and Bolivia. Although he hits Bolivia with 3 guys when there was only 1 defending. You only need to hit it with 2 if there's only 1 defending. So I don't know why he did that. Possibly
anyway.
inexperience.
Maybe that might have been it. It's no big deal. It's all right.
Okay, and we see that he finishes off South America now, and this is the first time that both of these players see each other.
Yep. From Sipple to Argentina.
Okay, and then he gets Algeria next. So,
They both.
Say what?
Are you at the next turn?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
We see that after turn 3, though, Zakiman has 13 because he has 2 bonuses, West Africa and South America, and Lolowut has 12 with Central Russia and Antarctica. In terms of positioning, it seems that Zakiman has the slight advantage because he's closer to getting another bonus.
Mm-hmm.
The closest, or the fastest Lolowut can expand to get another one is 2 turns in West Russia, although he would have difficulty with that because he's having to put guys in Antarctica to defend it against Argentina.
And he can't even take it in one more turn anyway because
Yeah.
he's got to get Botswana or Namibia to be able to take Angola. So, that's not an option for him yet.
Yeah. Okay, so turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
We see Zakiman putting 9 in Argentina to defend, and Lolowut puts all 12 of his in Sipple. And then Zakiman puts 3 in Mali and 1 in Algeria. This is the minimum to give you a decent odds of getting it.
Yeah, and he's actually, the chances say he should get it.
Yep.
It's not, absolute,
And then
but he's got like a 60-70% chance.
Lolowut,
somewhere
as
around
he
there.
should converges the guys from Scott and Novo into South Pole. This will help him back up Sipple next turn, even if it is only 2 guys. It's still worth it.
Yep.
And
Neither player attacks.
Yep.
In Sipple or Argentina.
so all we see is Lolowut positioning a little bit and getting guys closer to West Russia.
That's
And then-
not so good for Lolowut to not get a card, but, well, he had to take a risk, I guess.
Yeah, he should have at least tried to get something, in my opinion. Even if he was only attacking it with 3 or something.
Well,
But-
he obviously calculated it. He's not a stupid player.
Yeah, I know, but still having a card would be advantageous for the future. Because this was turn 4, and I believe that's when you can get your first, how many pieces is it? Reinforcements in 4 pieces. So yeah, 4 turns is all you need to get that. So at this
Mhm.
time, Zakiman should have his reinforcement card, but Lolowut doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
it's
see that. So that's
a big deal.
this is a bad turn to decide not to get a card.
Well, at the same time,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
he was
Lolowut,
probably hoping that
yeah,
that
he puts an
Zacky Man
extra
would
guy into
ram into
Dinka.
him in Sipple, and then he would
Indeed,
have the
yeah.
advantage next turn. That might have been it too. Part of
And
his
Zakiman
decision
deploys
making.
12 in Argentina next turn.
Oh yes.
This is the turn he's going to go offensive.
Ooh.
Colombia, he puts 2 in there so we can start gaining Central America. Lolowut puts 8 to defend and 3 in Ufa. He's going to start working on West Russia now. And looks
All right.
like Zakiman may start expanding into East Africa now.
Looks like it. That's what that 4 is for. That 3 there.
Yep, he
Libya.
starts.
All right.
Okay, Zakiman expands into Central America and fails to get Egypt. Not
Yeah.
that big of a deal, it just slows him down a little bit. And now Lolowut's in a position to get all West Russia, and this is more of a stalemate now. And now he gets his reinforcement card finally. Moving on to turn 6. He does not use it.
Hmm. Decides to save it. Apparently.
Intriguing.
Hmm.
Okay, so we see him placing 3 in Panama, or Zakiman 3 in Panama, Lolowut 1 in Vorkuta, and 6 in Moscow. This will allow him to almost guaranteedly get it, except he should have attacked with 1 more in Archangel to guarantee it, but still the odds are in his favor.
Yes.
He should have been moving this 1 extra from Omsk in there, so that by this turn he would have it.
Oh
That would have
well.
been good.
Too late now.
Yep. Okay, Zakiman puts 2 in Cuba. I guess he's going to go to Florida or something? I think that's a waste of reinforcements, in
Yeah,
my
that
opinion.
that seems a little strange. All right, whatever.
And Lolowitz puts 2 in Sipple and 3 in Tomsk. He may start working on West China or something. And Zakiman 5 in Congo, 5 in Argentina. It looks like this is when he's deciding that he's going to either hit Somalia, which it looks like he's going to do, or he could possibly go into Botswana or something to check if he can touch Antarctica by 2 locations.
Ouch. His attack in Archangels does not succeed.
Oh, yep. So
Ow.
Lolowut he does go into West China, possibly to check in Southeast Asia, sees that he's not here. Does not get Archangels. Zakiman did get Mexico and Florida, so he's trying to expand pretty rapidly right now, and he's getting Egypt. He does capture Murmansk, though, so now he should be able to get this next turn, even though he should have had it this turn, statistically at least. And he gets Somalia. Now, Zakiman's in a position to get all of East Africa next turn. That will just put him a little bit farther ahead. At the end of turn 6, Zakiman with 16, Lolowut with 12. Lolowut is not in a great position at this point.
Nope. Man, he would have been a lot better if he happened to get West Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. Although, oh, Zacky Man's spot down there, precariously sitting above him in South Africa, is a little amusing to me.
Yep.
uh,
And we see that in turn 7, once again, Lolowut does not use his reinforcement card. I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't know why he's saving it.
well, he wants to surprise him in all likelihood, or maybe.
Well, okay, it's turn 7 right now. At the end of turn 8, Zakiman's going to begin his second one. So, if anything, now's the best time to use it. And
Maybe.
honestly, he should have used it last turn to guarantee that he got West Russia.
Yeah, it's a bit too late for that now, though, unfortunately.
Indeed. Okay, so we see Lolowut putting 3 in Xinjiang and 9 in Sipple. These guys are just really piling up.
Yep. Getting some huge stacks over there.
And then Zakiman puts 3 in Egypt, 4 in Somalia, 5 in Mexico, and 4 in Argentina. He's going to finish off Central America this time, and I would have put 1 more in Somalia to guarantee getting all of East Africa.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe he felt like that one was necessary in Argentina. It was very necessary.
Possibly. Okay, so going on to moves, we see that he captured Sudan as expected, finishes off West Russia for Lolowut, and then works on Tibet. Personally, I would have probably moved into Pakistan and started actually capturing Southeast Asia, since he saw that he didn't have it.
No, I like that move. Well,
Oh, he was checking
no, yeah, he was.
East
Yeah,
China. Okay.
don't forget about that.
I thought he was getting in a position to expand, but yeah, he was just checking East China.
And this is where he finds out that he was that he's definitely not in East China or Southeast Asia, and we pretty much know he wasn't going to start in Indonesia from the start because of the wasteland. So this is probably where he guesses that his opponent is in Africa.
Yep.
And he knows that pretty certainly.
Oh, and yeah, also because this is when he finishes off East Africa.
Oh, yeah, well, that'd tell him too.
And he also
hi
finishes
there.
off Central America. So at the end of turn 7, Zakiman's up to 23 and Lolowut's only at 16.
Yeah, he's behind by a good deal here. And he discovers, oh man.
Okay, and turn 8,
most of
we
Africa
see that
by
he
now.
finally lays his reinforcement card. And then
right.
he puts 21 in South Africa, while Zakiman puts 12 in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zakiman also puts 1 in Baja to start working on West U.S., 4 in Mexico.
And neither
to help
player
him work
makes
up
an
for that.
attack in South Africa.
Interesting.
In
I
fact,
would've-
Lolowut does not make any attacks at all, or any movement.
Once again, getting farther behind in the cards.
I'm not sure why he didn't want to do anything with his stuff in West Russia, though. It seems like he just sort of ignored those guys. He could have at least moved them down to put both of those groups in Ufa, so that he could take a territory sometime and, well,
Yeah,
he could have
maybe
moved
start
the
working
stuff
through
from Ops,
Georgia, Iran, Turkey, Israel to start touching Egypt or something.
Yeah, maybe. But, well, oh well. Mistakes happen in quick games like this.
Yep.
Short time frames.
Okay, we see that Zakiman had captured Texas and California, and then is just moving guys down here towards Kenya. And then that's it. He's the only one that got a card, and he plays his reinforcement card the very next turn. As we see Lolowut playing an order priority card, so he's going to try something. Lolowut puts 2 in Sipple and 14 in South Africa. He's going to do something in South Africa now.
Ooh, man. He really hit hard there. It did not work out for him in taking it, but
he does not capture Kenya. He does a good bit of damage, though. Because as we can see, he put 14 there, but Zakiman put 18.
well, he lost a little bit more. He lost 23 while Zakiman lost 21.
Yeah, well, because he had 35 attacking 33.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the point is that he held it, and it actually came out as a negative for Lolowut. At this point, he's far behind.
Yep.
And he can't do much about it.
Okay, and we see that while this is going on, he's also still expanding in West U.S. And Lolowut's not expanding, so he's just slowly widening that lead even more.
Yeah, Zakiman's just getting farther and farther ahead right here.
Okay, turn 10. Lolowut puts a lot in Xinjiang, so he's... why would you put 12 there? Why would you hit... Was he thinking that he had Middle East? I would have extrapolated a little bit differently. I would not have assumed Middle East. I would have assumed what he had. Because you see him in Kenya, you see him in Argentina. He's probably going to have everything between there.
Yeah. Well, if he had Middle East, it would have been a good move.
Yes, it would have.
So,
Just an interesting extrapolation.
well, he's got the way that that Zakiman has his bonuses right here. There's really nothing Lolowut can do anymore. The game's pretty much over for him at this point. But if Zakim had Middle East instead of, let's say, like Central America or North Africa, then that would have been a good move because he would have been able to take out that bonus.
Indeed, yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't know exactly where Zakim is. He doesn't know that he's in North Africa and Central America. Anyway, they're just different positions, and he couldn't know exactly where he would be.
Yeah. So while that's happening, Zakiman's finishing off most of West U.S., leaving only one territory, the Great Plains, so he can get that next turn. And last move on the turn, Lolowut blockading in South Africa.
And that's not a bad move, in my opinion, because Zakiman's getting a lot more reinforcements than him. This blocking off, it would be especially nice if Zakiman happened to hit him there this turn. That's nice to see your blockades have an effect.
Well, remember, blockade happens at the end of the turn, unlike abandons. So
you're right. Never mind. I was thinking abandoned cards. Yeah. You're right.
He was kind of forced into it because last turn, remember, he attacked and lost a lot, and he wasn't able to replenish it nearly as well as Zakiman.
In either case, it defends Novo very well, so it's not a bad move, and it prevents Zakiman from ever getting South Africa, really.
Indeed. So, moving on to turn 11, we see that Zakiman's finishing off West U.S., Lolowut putting 11 in Pakistan. Interesting move, and 5 in Sipple to finish off defending that. While Zakiman deploys 22 to Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
He finishes off West U.S. Lolowut capturing Iran with 20. And then we see 66 armies attack Sipple.
Yeah, even though he didn't take Sipple there, that really finishes the game. It makes it very clear to Lolowut. This guy's getting a lot of reinforcements, and I can't do anything.
Next turn, there's nothing he could do in terms of defending this.
Yeah, it's game over right there.
Even if he put everything down there and used a card or something, which he doesn't. Well, he does have one now, I believe. He should have had one after turn 10, so turn 11 he should have had one. Ooh. Yeah, he should have one. Okay. But, okay, that's pretty much the game. We see that, indeed, he had surrendered after that turn. So, good game Lolowut, good game Zakiman. Zakiman coming out ahead in the end after 11 turns.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. So, we're going to move on to the next game in the tournament.
All right.
Which is GW Bush against Zerby.
Yes, this game looks like it was pretty fast. 8 turns.
Indeed. Okay. This game we have wastelands in Western Great Lakes, Tennessee, Algeria, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, and Italy.
Yep. So we know East U.S. is not a possibility, ever.
Most of Africa's dead.
Most of Africa, yes. All of the really mediocre or good spots in Africa.
It's like the entire center of the map is completely dead now. There's this ring of...
Right. Middle East, Europe, West Africa, North Africa, and East Africa. They're all... They all have wastelands in them. Huh. That's very interesting.
This means a lot of the fighting in this game will probably be along the edges of the map, or in Asia. Probably a good bit in Asia, because that seems the most clear area.
Asia is... It will be the center of this. Asia, all of Eurasia, except for Europe and the Middle East, although Iran is still free, so that could still be fought over, too.
Okay, so, territory picks. We have GW Bush going first pick Finland, second pick Vorkuta, third pick Tura.
Not bad. They're really not bad picks at all.
Moderate picks, yeah. It just seems like first turn will be slow. Second turn he finally gets a bonus. And then after that he should be able to get a turn each. For the next 2 turns he should be able to get another bonus.
Well, getting a bonus in one turn isn't necessarily always possible. So
if he meets someone within the first few turns he's going to be at a disadvantage probably.
Well, not if he gets a bonus by a second turn. That's normally the standard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the standard, but I mean after that. He's going to be expanding linearly and having to expend everything.
Well, he can. Caucasus is right under him, and that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Central Russia isn't too bad either. I mean, I don't see any reason why he couldn't have a good number of stuff by the 6th or 7th turn.
Okay, and his alternate picks, just in case that doesn't work out, are in South Pole, Western Australia, which personally I'm not really agreeing with,
Yeah, I don't know why you'd go for West
and then
Africa.
Shanghai.
Shanghai is a good one though. Shanghai and Antarctica I like.
Yeah.
Australia, not really sure why he did that, but oh well.
Okay, going over to Zerby. We see that he went first pick South Pole, second pick Finland, third pick for Kuta. And then alternate picks Shanghai, Papua New Guinea, and Venezuela. So we see, unlike
I
last
like
game, we see some overlapping up here.
I like these. I like these picks because the way I see it, he's expecting at least one of the threes, these good 3 spots, to get taken. So he's going for 2 of them for his first 2 picks.
Yep.
And then his third pick is that 4 in Vorkuta. It's a good spot there. Yeah, I like these picks. Pretty reasonably spread out. East China right over there is a good spot. I like how Shanxi is a starting location in this because not many people would start there, and it creates a better shield, I guess, because Shanxi is
East
a very
China,
dangerous. Yeah, it's a very dangerous territory for East China.
Indeed. Okay, so got some decent picks for both players. We'll see how the overlapping works out. Who will get first pick and who won't.
Oh man.
Ooh.
To start off.
And we see that Zerby gets South Pole, Vorkuta, and Shanghai. But George W. Bush gets Finland, Tura, and Western Australia. Now this is when him picking Western Australia comes back to bite him a little bit.
Yeah, that position it just feels really
Because he's not really able to do much
bad.
with this. Although he knows that Zerby has Vorkuta and South Pole. He knows that. Because
That
his
is
second
true.
pick was Vorkuta and his fourth pick was South Pole.
That is true. So in that sense, it's not too terrible.
And then Zerby knows that he has Finland, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
But that's still a good bit of information.
Yep.
Anyway.
first move, we see that Zerby's going to focus in Antarctica, like he should,
Yeah.
and George W. Bush is going to spread out a bit more, put 3 in Tora. Apparently he's going to go after 2 territories in there.
I'm not sure I'm not sure I like that move personally because it means that it'll take him more time to take all of Scandinavia. Because if he takes Norway with 4, he will lose 2 on average. So we'll have 2 left, and even if he places all 5 there,
He would only be able to hit them with 3s.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like that. It makes it less likely to get all of Scandinavia, but
But anyways,
Oh,
next turn
well.
he's going to have to finish off Antarctica. So he's going to have to put some guys down there, so he couldn't get all of it anyways. And we
well,
see
Zerby's stuff in South
Yes.
Pole that's not too bad. I like that. All
and
right.
we see that, as expected, Zerby's going to focus in Antarctica. He attacked Nova with 3. I don't know what he's going to use the other 5 for. And then Bush gets Norway and Omsk, as expected. Yeah, Zerby fails to get Scott with 3. And then I don't know what he's going to do with the other 2, apparently. Nothing, he's just sitting guys there. I'm not sure I like that. And he's not attacking with his other... Well, he tried to hit Jingzi, but...
Well, thinking about it, it might... It's not all that bad because he knows it's going to take him 2 turns at least to get all this anyway. So using the 3s doesn't really hurt him. Very much anyway. It could kill a few extra reinforcements. I'm not really sure actually where you'd come out ahead.
Yeah. And Bush is moving down to southern Australia because he knows that he's in Antarctica.
It's a risk, but it's not too bad
Yep.
for
Okay.
Zerby.
So, turn 2. Zerby putting enough in South Pole to finish that off. As Bush puts some in Norway, so we're going to hit both with 3s. And then one in South Australia. He's only going to be able to hit this with 3. So that's not guaranteed. That may come back to bite him if he doesn't capture that.
He does not go. Even though he knows his opponent is in Antarctica, he decides to go to New South Wales. I'm guessing he did that because he wants to take the whole bonus and surprise Zerby later on.
Maybe. It's a possibility. But other moves, we see that Bush did capture all of Scandinavia, which helps him a lot. It's going to help him next turn and prevent him from getting too far behind. Zerby also finishes off Antarctica.
That's pretty lucky.
Yeah. Zerby also finishes off Antarctica and gets Jingzi from East China. So now Zerby's in a position to get all of East China. Bush is in a position to get all of Australia. Sort of.
Potentially.
Yeah. He wouldn't quite be able to, unless he's hitting it with 3s or something.
He is hitting it with 3s. Yeah. He does that next turn.
Yep, and Zerby's going to hit everything in East China with 3s. And he's also putting one in Vorkuta to expand somewhere. Bush is congregating in Sweden.
Yep. Putting all his stuff together, that's good for later. He's going to be able to hit Murmansk next turn.
Yeah. He should know that he's already in Antarctica because of the starting locations. He had starting location 4 down here, and his Australia pick was 5, so...
And he also knows that he's in West Russia, so...
Yes, because this was a second pick, so he lost 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So that was... he should already know it. He shouldn't need to check. He should already know.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
You should pull up the chat from the game, by the way. Yeah, we were saying that earlier, that he shouldn't be trying to get Australia. Okay, so moving on to these moves, we see that Zerby doesn't quite get all of East China. He misses the 2 territories, Taiwan and Hong Kong. No problem. Welcome, one and all. Anyone just joined us? We are doing a 1v1 live streamed tournament between 8 different people. I'll show the bracket in just a minute.
Okay, where's...
This is the bracket.
I've got the chat up.
Okay, well, just keep it up. Reference it if need be.
If need be.
But yeah, this is the 8 different people we have. Lolowut, Zakim, George W. Bush, Zerby, Heda, Steel City, Arc 77, and Aggressive Numbers. We went over Lolowut versus Zakim just a few minutes ago. Zakim pulled out the win on that. And now we're working on game 2, Bush versus Zerby. Okay, so Bush versus Zerby, turn 3. Zerby trying to work on East China, doesn't quite get it. Bush attacking in Australia. He gets Tasmania at least. That's going to help him, at least knowing.
Well,
but he doesn't quite get the whole
bonus. That's...
Yeah, well, that guarantees that he's aware, even if he wasn't looking at what starting locations he got, apparently.
Yeah, but man, that's not good for later, though, because he does not succeed in taking New Zealand. That's big. Really big.
Getting ahead of me
means... Well, I can't tell exactly what move you're on. But anyway, does not take New Zealand. And that means Zerby has a huge advantage over there. He knows exactly what to go for next turn.
You're getting ahead of me. Okay. We see that, yeah, he tried to finish off Queensland. And this only putting 2 in New South Wales to attack New Zealand, I don't agree with that at all. He should know that that Zerby's gonna try to get that.
Yeah. Ouch.
Okay. Other moves. Zerby does get that and prevent him from getting it. He does also finish off East China. So now he's officially in the lead, both positioning wise and reinforcement wise. Because now he's also in a position to threaten Scandinavia with 2 different locations, and he's prevented him from getting Australia. So at this point, we can see that Bush is in a pretty bad position.
Yeah, he's got all of Australia except the one part right there, that New Zealand. Oh, that hurts. Oh, man. And Zerby jumps right in the hole there, and there's nothing Bush can do about it.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay, turn 5.
that sucks for
We
him.
see that both people have played the reinforcement card, which is good. And he deploys a lot to Norway to try to defend that from Murmansk, while Zerby deploys 9 to Scott, and then 8 to Murmansk to go offensive there, I assume. Oh, this Bush hitting Murmansk first move, that may hurt him. Because now he still has enough to capture something.
Yeah, well, he had to do something. I see why he did it, because there were 2 territories that Zerby could hit, and he didn't know which one he was going to go for. So Bush figured, okay, well, if he lays down a small enough group, I might be able to kill just about everything there, and it won't be a big deal. And unfortunately for him, Zerby laid more down than he could handle. And sure enough, he didn't kill all of it. There was 4 left.
Yep.
And he was able to use those 4.
And we
take
see
Finland.
that Zerby's going offensive in Australia. He may end up getting all of this in the next 2 turns unless Bush is able to mount a defense, but at this point he's not looking like he can. He does at least get the 2 areas in West Russia. So now he may be in a position to get this at least, assuming that he had been able to get Murmansk, but he wasn't. So
Yeah,
now
the only problem
he's not going to have much of an opportunity to get that.
Zerby is in a great position now. He can easily defend West Russia if he uses his reinforcements properly. And there's no way that Bush can get back Australia. So
yeah, and he
he's
broke
pretty much
into
got the game.
Scandinavia, which
that
means that Bush is down to getting the minimum reinforcement, which is 5.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. It sucks to be Bush.
Indeed. Okay, so moving on to turn 6. We can see that Zerby, as expected, is going to put a bunch in Murmansk that will prevent Bush from either getting West Russia, and it can also let him do something else offensively up here if he wants to later on in the turn. Bush deploying these 5 to Norway. I'm not sure about that.
Well, no, I like that move personally. Zerby was just smart enough to go around it. You'll see. I think I'm getting ahead of you again.
You are.
But it was a good move in that he was he was trying to take advantage of a possible mistake by Zerby. Zerby could have just abandoned Scandinavia and focused entirely on West Russia.
Indeed, yep.
But he didn't just do that. And because he had so many more moves than George W. Bush, he was able to
And he even places an order delay.
Oh yeah, he used an order delay. Huh. Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Lost there in the list of orders. Anyway, yeah, he used an order delay card and was able to make that 8 attack his last move, and sure enough, it got in there.
Yeah.
And it took Scandinavia anyway, even though Bush did take back Finland.
And now Zerby's 1 territory away from getting Australia, and Bush isn't really in a position to defend that. Of course, he's not really in a position to do very much at all.
Yeah.
At this point, the game's obviously over.
Yep.
And he's pretty much ready to surrender, it seems.
Yeah. He's just moving stuff around now. It doesn't really matter what he does. Zerby takes Scandinavia.
Okay.
And Bush knows he is beaten.
Okay, and yeah, he finishes off Australia in turn 7.
And by the end of it, Zerby is getting 20 reinforcements, and Bush is getting 5.
Yep, and Bush surrendered after 7 turns at the beginning of the 8th turn to give Zerby the victory. So Zerby will advance to the next round.
Mm-hmm. That means for our second game, we will have Zerby versus Zakim.
Yep.
For
Zerby
our
versus
second
Zakim,
round
you can see
first
that right
game.
here. But we're not going to go over that quite yet, because we
No,
still
not
have
yet.
this game right here, and then this game with aggressive number is aggressive number. Well, Arc got a bye. Aggressive number removed from the tournament.
Wow, this third game, with Heda versus Steel City, this looks like it's even faster. Wow, 6 turns. Didn't take long.
Huh. Okay, well, Lolowut's telling me to skip that game, actually. To save time, apparently. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, and since this last game was a bye, we're going to go to round 2. Zakiman versus Zerby. 7-turn game. Pretty quick. Without spoiling it too much. We'll go to the beginning of the history. And we can see the wastelands are in Svalbard, Mali, Sipil, Scott, Korea, Inner Mongolia, and Xinjiang. Very spread out wastelands in this game. Antarctica is completely dead. Africa is partially viable. A good portion, West China is completely dead, so moving even through there is really difficult right now. So, but other parts of Africa are still fine. It's just
very rare you get a wasteland in one of those useless spots like Korea. That's
yeah.
funny, huh? But yes, Scandinavia's dead. That spot in Svalbard's very annoying for anybody trying to move between Greenland and Scandinavia, though.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at the picks for Zakiman, we see first in Mexico, second in Colombia, third in Midwest, fourth in Southwest. This means that if he gets his first 3, he's able to get Central America on his first turn, and then on his third turn he would get East U.S.
Or let's see. Are you sure it's third turn? It might be fourth turn. That's a lot of territories to take.
2. Yeah, you could get it in 3 turns.
All right.
2 turns after getting Central America.
Seems like a lot of territories to take, though. That would take like.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would require every bit of reinforcements that he gets.
All right. Well, anyway.
And then his alternate territory is in Southwest. This is, I guess, assuming that if he loses Midwest, then he would have a buffer territory to defend Central America. Although he's very isolated right now. He's going to stay in this little pocket area for a bit. Okay, well,
yes,
let's look
that is true.
Well, let's look at Zerby's. Zerby's, as you can see, is much more spread out. He's going first Colombia, second Mexico, third Hong Kong, fourth India, fifth Somalia, and sixth Vorkuta. This puts him in a position, if he gets his first 2, which he probably won't because of the contesting, he could have gotten Central America in 1 turn. However, his third and fourth ones will allow him to get Southeast Asia in 1 turn.
His positioning in Colombia is going to be really good, I can already tell.
Yeah.
For this game.
And then his alternate other territories in Somalia, Vorkuta, just put him in positions if he doesn't get anything good. Those are sort of other decent areas where he can expand.
Ooh, I can already see how this is going to go.
Okay, well, let's look at the first territory. First turn.
Yeah,
and we
sure
see
enough.
that, yep,
Oh,
he got
man.
his first pick, not his second pick, obviously, because that was Zakiman's first pick.
It's already over from the start. Zerby's going to get all of Southeast Asia on the first turn, and then, or he's going to try. At the very worst, it'll be on the second turn.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have that positioning in Colombia, and he's going to be able to hassle Zakiman for the rest of the game.
One thing Zakiman might be able to try to do is get West U.S. in 2 turns. That's what I would try to do right now if I was him. go for West US in 2 turns.
Oh, that's true. I- Hmm. It's very unorthodox. Interesting. Let's see if he tries that. Does
Oh,
he?
looks like he's putting a bunch of
Yeah, that's what he
Mexico.
was trying. Well, no, he didn't. What? Huh. Oh, yeah, because he knew about. Oh. Yeah, he knew that Zerby was in Colombia, so he moved down there.
Yep. And Zerby's not able to get Southeast Asia on his first turn.
Yeah,
He
that'll
misses
delay
in
him.
Myanmar.
Neither player's got off to their preferred start. I'm curious why Zerby wanted to make it his last. Oh, I see. All right. Okay. The reason Zerby wanted to make it his last move to take Panama was because he already knew that someone was in Mexico, of course,
Yes.
and he was thinking that maybe the guy from Mexico will attack with four in each spot, and so the most he'll have in Panama is 3, and 5 would be the perfect number to take 3 in Panama. That's
Yep.
why he made it his last move.
Yeah, he was assuming that, as Fizzer said in the chat, that Zakim didn't know that he was in Colombia.
But he did, so it
And
turned out a little differently.
And because they wasn't able to put enough in Southeast Asia to get that. But we can go on to turn 2 and see that it's a pretty short turn, it looks like. Zaki puts a few in Mexico to get Cuba, then puts the rest in Panama. He does get Cuba.
Yes, indeed. So he succeeds in getting his bonus.
And Zerby moves over to Venezuela to threaten Cuba instead of Panama.
Yeah, I like that move. I really like that.
Indeed, while he finishes off in Southeast Asia. This means after turn 2, both people have finished off a bonus that they were expecting to get in one turn.
Yes, but Zerby has a major advantage in that he is touching Central America, while Zakiman is nowhere near Southeast Asia.
Indeed. And then he works on a little bit in West US, it seems. Nothing very much going on there. But we go on to turn 3. Zerby putting in a lot in Hong Kong. It seems like he's going to start on East China now.
He's pursuing his advantage. I like this.
Yep.
He's making Red put stuff, making Zakiman put stuff in Cuba and Panama, while he can expand.
Yep.
It's a little risky because he could lose those spots, but he knew he was going to keep at least one with that number of reinforcements.
And something small here that you can't really notice very easily, this move that Zerby made from Venezuela to Colombia is a transfer only.
Oh yeah, yep, that's smart of him.
Yep.
Very smart, very smart.
If by the off chance he had set it to attack transfer, then if first move Zakiman had moved down to Colombia and beat him there, then he would have rammed into him and lost all of his guys down there. And that would have, right there, would have kept Zakiman in the game if that had happened.
Oh yeah, especially if Zakiman had made it a later move to attack Venezuela. Then he would have lost both of those spots.
And
so that transfer only was actually a pretty big deal.
Yep. And
Very
then we see
smart
that
by him.
other moves that Zerby made were capturing Xinjiang and Hong Kong, both of them guaranteed because he attacked with force. And we see that Zakiman did not make an attack this turn, meaning that now he's behind on cards.
Oh, yeah.
And as we go on to the turn 4, this is the turn when Zerby will begin his final card, so that will just, let him get even farther ahead. Zakiman puts 2 in Cuba, Zerby 3 in Shanghai, 2 in Xinjiang, Zakiman 2 in Panama, 4 in Rocky Mountains, and then Zerby finishing off with 3 in Colombia. So finally, Zakiman's able to expand a little bit more in West US. He's just expanding so slowly that it's not really going to help him much. And then once again, Zerby does a transfer only back to Venezuela.
Mm-hmm. Very clever.
And then he finishes off East China. So now he's actually in the lead in terms of reinforcements.
And he's got the positioning advantage, so it's pretty clear this game is not progressing well for Zakiman.
Yep.
He's not in a good spot.
And then turn 5, we see that Zerby does play his reinforcements card.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yep,
and then
he takes full advantage of this.
Putting 15 in Venezuela.
Ooh, yeah. Poor Zaki, man. It's
Yep.
over. Poor
And
guy.
while that happens, he's also expanding into Indonesia like he should.
Oof. Oof. Oh, wow. Takes Cuba. Oh, man.
And
Yeah.
that seals it pretty much.
Yep, that's its game right there.
Final turn, we do see that Zakiman does get his card, and he puts a bunch of Mexico. I'm not sure why.
Well, he had to do something.
Well,
The game's already over at that point anyway. Doesn't matter what he does, but he has to do something, so he does that.
and he captured a 2 with a 2 in California.
I like that blockade by Zerby for that last in Cuba. That's pretty cool.
Yep. One thing that he should have done, Zaki should have moved from Mexico to Texas. Last move, hit it with 4. And that would have
Yeah,
given
oh,
him
I
the bonus.
agree. He should. Yeah, I don't know why
If
he
he had
did
done
not
that,
do
then he could still be in the game, because that's blockaded now, so he doesn't need to worry about that. He just puts
Oh,
a
yeah.
few guys in Panama to defend there, and then he can expand in East U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, that's very true. And then he could potentially, yeah, he could use his blockade down there. You're right. Either way, though, I think at this point Zerby is he's getting so many reinforcements he can expand a lot faster. And it would be, if it came to a race of expansion, Zerby would still win.
Oh yeah, the only way Zakiman would have had a chance is if he got Texas this turn, or better yet, if he had focused on it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. When you mentioned that, I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty good idea. It doesn't matter if he has Colombia at that point because you have Mexico, and that's the key to hitting West U.S. So he could take the whole bonus in 2 turns, and then what could Zerby do?
Yep.
Not much about it. So that would have been a smart way to play. But I guess he didn't think about it, or he just figured this is a better move.
Yep.
Either way.
But anyways, Zerby giving up at this point, surrendering, and Zerby takes the win.
Yep.
Even though, as people are saying in chat, Zerby didn't know how he was so far ahead. Zakiman still gave up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know I can use the keyboard thing. It's just sometimes I'm not going single order. Sometimes I'm skipping orders around, so I'm using the mouse for that. Okay, back to the tournament. We can see that it's not really working right here. So, let me see. It was Arc vs. Hedja is the next game, which is right here, because I have the direct link. And one sec.
Need that link. Let's see. Copy. Paste. There we go.
Okay, so we have second
this
game.
is a longer game.
Yeah, second game of the semifinals between Arc 77 and Hedja. Even though we've got to do this earlier, we should probably just go over them a little bit. Who the players are. We see Arc 77 has been playing since October 16th of 2011. He's played a total of 604 ranked games, has won over 50% of them.
It's always good.
He's changed his names a few times.
Got a pretty good 1v1 win percentage over there, 65%. Wow.
Yep, and 2v2 54, so
Yeah.
variety of games. Okay, so switching over to Hedja.
What a pretty seagull.
Indeed.
Or
And we see that
I got the seagull.
he has been playing since October 17th, 2011. So he joined one day after Arc 77. Interesting little tidbit. But he's played over 300 more games. He's played almost 1,000 games, and once again has won over 50% of them. 57% 1v1 win rate, slightly lower than Arc.
That's still
and
winning percentage in 1v1s. That's good.
yes, and then 66 in 2v2. So good
I think
numbers
these
there.
are two good, really good players. This will be fun. Hmm.
Okay, so we've got wastelands in Florida, Bolivia, Norway, Scott, Israel, Tajikistan, and Beijing.
Wow. Hmm. Let's see. That means Antarctica and South America are no-goes, people. And East US as well. That position in Florida is going to be
Hmm.
pretty key, I think. Well, actually, not many people are going to work on South America, so it won't be that important. So, that's Scandinavia's spot. Wow,
Africa's completely clear though.
Yeah, Africa's a good spot for a lot of people.
So Africa may be a good point of fighting in this one. Other possible starting locations could be Central America, which you could get it in one turn
Oh,
uh,
yeah. Well,
southwest to
yeah,
Baja.
you could. You're right.
And then I think that's the only one turn bonus in this.
I think so, too.
Well, no, you could go West Africa in one turn with Nigeria, Niger, Botswana,
Oh, yeah, you're right there. Yep. That's true.
and then I'm not seeing any others though. Yep, so it may just be those two. So we'll see their starting locations.
Well, you don't want to
West
look at
China.
the picks first? Okay.
1, 2, 3.
You don't want to look
You
at
can't
their
get West
picks?
China in one turn.
How could you... Yeah, that's West China.
Unless you're going to get something with a 2, you can't get West China.
Yeah,
Yeah, with 3 picks. If you put 1 in India, 1 in Inner Mongolia, 1 in Tomsk, you put everything in Inner Mongolia, hit Xinjiang from Tomsk, hit Tibet from India, then you would have 9 in Mongolia. You could hit 3 here, and 2 here.
And then what about Heilongjiang?
Oh
Or
yeah, I even forgot about that. You would need 4 picks to get this in one turn.
Yeah, you can't get it in one turn. It's not possible. Really. Unless you're going to attack with a number of 2s, and then... Wow, alright.
Okay, well, anyways, starting locations for Heda are India, Archangels, Mexico, use ones.
Use ones, there we go. Yeah.
200% offensive kill rate.
Those ones, man.
Oh
Those
yeah.
ones. Do some amazing things.
Okay. Well, anyways, Heda in India, Archangels, Mexico, Egypt, and whatever that's called in Greenland, and then New Zealand. So he's really, really spreading out, completely spreading out in
Wait.
this.
Oh, okay, you are looking at picks. Alright, good.
Yes.
Okay, you said starting locations. And
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I already skipped ahead.
Okay, well, we see that he's going to focus on some of the smaller bonuses first. He's obviously going to assume that he's not going to get both of them, or at least he should, because Ark's got to start somewhere. Okay, so we can compare that to Ark's starting location, which are first in Mexico, second in Nigeria, third in Botswana, fourth in India, fifth in Southwest, sixth in Niger. So he's going to wants to start in Central America and then go for West Africa after that, with alternate being in Southeast Asia. You don't understand the reasoning. What do you mean you don't understand the reasoning? It's just trying to get Central America and then West Africa. You can get both in. You can get them in 3 turns. 1 in 2 turns, 1 in 3 turns.
Yep, it's not that bad.
Nothing super fast, but it's still decent expansion. The order.
Oh, the order.
It's just. Yeah. Well.
Well, if he
I
gets the
think the
first
5
three,
and
there's no
6
big
picks
deal.
that he has are just counter picks or something. Assuming that he doesn't get his first ones, then he would have that to counter the opponent.
Yeah, that's what I see too. The 1, 2, 3 picks are just his preferred picks. He'd be able to get West Africa uh, really the turn after he got Central America because of Botswana. But if he doesn't get one of those, then he's always got Southeast Asia, which is also a pretty quick expansion. And then yeah, as you said, the 5 and 6 picks are just counters.
Hmm. Although Botswana may not be quite efficient.
Quite efficient.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
well
not
as Fisher was saying.
well.
Check this.
Hmm.
That.
Why would Botswana be any worse than
Uh,
Niger?
it would be very, very tough to get it in, with without Botswana in the next turn. You would have 8 guys. You would have 2 here. You would be able to put 3s plus 5 would be 7. You would have to hit everything with 3s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still pretty good though. I'd take that risk, of course. It would be difficult, but
Well, he's not trying to capture South Africa. He's trying to capture West Africa.
oh, was somebody talking about South Africa? Oh no, we're not talking about South Africa. We're talking about using Botswana to take West Africa. Basically, after the first turn, he'd have all of Central America, so he'd be getting 8 reinforcements, and he'd have Nigeria and Botswana, preferably. So he'd be able to get all of that in by the end of the second turn.
Okay.
He'd
Well, anyways,
be
moving
getting
on to
12
what they actually got.
reinforcements.
We can see that Ark got Mexico, Nigeria, Botswana's first 3, obviously, but Hedja getting India, not Mexico, but Archangelsk in Egypt. So this means that he knows that Ark is in Mexico, but Ark doesn't know anything about where he's starting. So Ark is going to, Hedja is going to focus on India, and Ark is just going to spread out. Yeah, they're still playing, still doing the finals. Finals aren't over yet.
Oh, well, that's... Huh.
Okay.
That was actually... I was saying that completely wrong. When I described that, I was assuming he would get... That was stupid of me. I was assuming Southwest... to be able to do what I described, you need Southwest and Botswana, and Nigeria, and Central, and Mexico. Never mind. Screw what I said. That's not possible.
Okay, well, we see pretty much expected moves. Him going to Sudan, I sort of like that. Lets him see West Africa pretty easily, and know that he's trying to expand there.
And sure enough, Hedja sees him.
Yep, and
Bongo.
so now Hedja knows 2 starting locations, Central America, and that he's going after West Africa.
Well, he really knows all 3 of... Well, I guess he doesn't technically know if he's in West Africa.
Although he probably could assume it, because he moved up from out of South Africa.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't really start there unless you were actually going to go for it or something.
For West Africa, yeah. So he can pretty well assume all 3 of his locations.
Yep, so turn 2, we have Ark finishing off Central America with a 3 attack, and Hedja working on finishing off Southeast Asia. Oh, but we can see that Ark did not quite get Cuba, unfortunately.
Ooh, wow.
Got denied that, and he did not get a card piece. He did not get a card piece. That was his only attack.
That hurts a lot.
Yep.
Ooh. Sits him behind, like, right at the start.
And then next turn, we have Ark trying to finish off West Africa.
Oh, man.
But will he be able to get it? Oh, he does make it.
Yes.
It's
5 attacking 3. It works out perfectly for him. That 5 versus 3, man, 60%.
Yeah.
Man. That he gets West Africa. turns the game around immediately. Although Heda does have Sudan, and that's pretty important right there. That he's threatening West Africa
And
in
he
Chad and
almost,
Congo.
Hedja almost gets West Africa, West Russia, gets denied Vorkuta,
Oh man!
just barely.
In the course of one turn, that's a pretty big turnaround.
Yep. Okay, so turn 4, we see that Ark's focusing in Congo with a bit in Chad. He's going 8 and 8 in each.
And he wins.
Hedja just putting
Yeah.
one in Ufa, and then everything else is Sudan to defend that. So then Ark going on the offensive with both, captures it after the second attack, and Hedja finishing off West Russia.
And now I can see why this was such a long game.
Yep. We can see that, yeah, after turn 4, both people have even reinforcements. However, because of that one turn, we know that Hedja is ahead in card pieces.
Yes, he was.
And yeah, as Lolowut said, splitting your offense, he was attacking from both. Yeah, although it was meant to be defensive. And we see next turn,
Yeah.
Hedja go gain a reinforcements card, put in a lot in Egypt, as Ark puts a lot in Sudan. And putting 2 in Ufa, because it looks like he may start expanding into Central Russia.
Whew.
And then he does not get that territory in Central Russia. And neither player gets a card this turn.
Huh.
Both people failed their
Sets them both
attacks.
back. That's interesting.
Okay, so turn 6. Huh.
Hedge.
And Ark is still not getting his card. He still has not got his card yet.
Ouch.
Okay, so we see Ark putting 6 in Congo. It looks like he's probably going to start either East Africa or South. He should start East Africa. He wouldn't put that many in Congo if he wasn't. And we see that Hedja putting 2 in Ufa to actually get Omsk this turn, and 10 in Egypt to defend that, as Ark puts 6 there. And he moves over to Libya. That puts him in another position to threaten West Africa.
Yep. Makes it seem like he's going to Niger so that he could threaten all 3 spots. It gives him more options.
Yep. And Ark has everything in East Africa except for Egypt. So we'll see if he's able to get that next turn. Both people get a card this turn, and this should be the last card piece that Ark needs before he actually gets a reinforcement card, which he does, and he uses it. And he puts 17 in Chad.
Yep, this is pretty big right here. Does not look like a good move from my perspective on Hedge's part to ignore Egypt, because he could see that that Ark took Ethiopia, that he was reasonably close to getting it. But he doesn't put anything in Egypt,
and that helps Ark a bit. Now he's ahead in reinforcements.
Yeah,
and he defends Chad, which is very important.
Yeah,
but now East Africa is still threatened really badly, and he should know that he has that actually has the entire bonus.
Oh yeah. Well, he will anyway next turn, one way or the other.
Yep. So, at this point, Ark has 3 territories to defend, but 4 extra reinforcements. And Hedja has 12 guys. He's in a position to nearly get Central Russia. Or he could focus in Libya. He's got a choice to make next turn.
Hedja corrects his mistake, it looks like. Very first move.
Yep.
Capture Egypt. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I'm not going to let you keep that, buddy.
Very important, as he does a little bit in Central Russia, but now he's got Libya back again. Well, he's gotten him out of Libya.
Yeah. Sort of put him in that little box over there. So at the very least, that was a really good series of moves for Ark, because it saved West Africa. West Africa is protected, although just for a moment. That could change in a single turn if Hedja took Sudan or Libya. Either way. precarious situation.
Okay, and in this turn, it looks like he's putting a few more in Central Russia, trying to get that. Put everything else in Egypt. He's just defending that. I would have blockaded that long ago, probably. Especially this turn, where he's got big stacks on both sides of him. I probably would have blockaded that.
Maybe, but you've been
Well,
getting sort of even reinforcements between you. I'm not sure I would blockade it.
yeah. Well, we do see that
Well,
Ark had enough to get him out of there.
How many did he have before? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, with those big stacks, I'm not so sure. It's pretty tough. If you were outnumbered a little more, like if you had like 10 or 8 guys in Egypt, then I would have probably blockaded it.
Yeah.
But he had enough to stand a fighting chance at least. And keep that position over there in Egypt.
Yeah.
But either way, he didn't. So he should have... So blockading it would have been superior. But hindsight is 20/20, so... Yeah, they really are risky, as
Okay.
Bizzer said.
Well, moving on to the next turn, we see that he's finally going to get all of Central Russia. Heda is, and then he's going to go into Thailand and start working on East China or something.
We keep going into the mindset of abandoned cards.
No, yeah, he's going to go into Indonesia. We've played so many games with abandoned cards that it's just like ingrained into my skull.
Yeah, you got to get used to blockades happening at the end of a turn.
Yeah. Oh, if you watch some of our earlier videos where we started using the strategic 2v2 settings, I'll say abandon when I'm thinking of blockade.
Yeah.
Okay, so Heda moving into Malaysia as Ark moves into Saudi Arabia, trying to get up here to threaten some bonuses maybe, and he's also working on South Africa now. We'll see. He should be able to get pretty much all of it, assuming he gets something with a 3. He gets 1, 2, and 3. He gets all of South Africa now.
Wow.
And now he's in a position to get North Africa.
Whew, everything worked out great for Ark that turn.
Yep, Ark takes back the lead with 19 over 16.
He's in a great position. He's made a good series of moves here against Heda.
And Heda puts a few more in Malaysia, trying to get some more in Indonesia, as Ark works on finishing off North Africa.
Yep. Well, let's see. And start of turn 12. They're both even with reinforcement cards.
And they both play it, yes.
And they both play it.
And then Heda is probably going to focus on most of West China, although he's not touching Heilongjiang, so he shouldn't put too many here. He's just putting enough to get Inner Mongolia, probably.
Yeah.
And then a little in Tomsk, some more in Borneo to get both Indonesia and Papua New Guinea and Philippines, and then everything else in Iran to defend against this. Although this big stack that he deployed, he put 25 more guys in Iraq. Even though he has this, he's probably not going to be able to keep that if he attacks at all. He may not attack this turn, but he probably will.
Yeah, and he does.
And he captures that.
Yeah.
Heda plays an order delay, and then hits Borneo. I'm not sure why he used all 7 in Borneo.
Avast virus database
Avast
has
is
been updated.
Amazing. Yes.
But yeah, I don't know why he hit Philippines with 7. He could have hit 4 in Papua New Guinea and 3 in Philippines. That probably would have been better. I don't see the advantage to doing that. But anyways, he gets most of West China. Next turn he's going to be able to finish that. That may keep him alive if he does finish that.
I'm really not sure why he took Philippines there. Huh. Doesn't really help him out. It's very important, yeah. Avast needs to tell us this. It's very important.
Okay. So, moving on to turn 13. We're getting closer to the end. We see that Ark is going to start expanding into California, which is good. It lets him actually get over here to threaten stuff from the other side. And if after he goes through Hawaii at least. And we see that Heda trying to put some guys in Pakistan to defend it. We'll see if that ends up working well for or
No,
not.
yeah. Oof. It won't. It doesn't.
He gets all
Spoiler.
of West China now. And
Yeah, he
then
does get West China,
Papua
so
New Guinea.
they're even in reinforcement count, although not when it comes to positioning here and having a big stack at the front lines. Yeah. Hedge is in trouble.
Yep. And then Ark is now nearly in a position to get all of Europe. He's going to have that next turn.
Yep.
And he does capture Pakistan. And then we move on to turn 14, where we see Hedja apparently in the lead of reinforcement cards still.
Reinforcement cards, yeah.
Plays that should help him a little bit, although he's not going to be in a very good position anyways. He puts a lot in Xinjiang, which he should.
Yep, and
Ark puts a lot.
Take back Pakistan, although it doesn't.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm
You're
getting ahead of you again.
Ahead of me. God. We see that Ark putting a good bit of guys in Europe. He's now going to go for all of it, and he does get it. And he sees Hedja in West Russia as he moves into India. And Hedja playing an order delay does that to allow him to get Pakistan after he moves into India, which is fine. It's a valid move.
Yeah.
And then
this is big right here.
Ark playing order priority and reinforcement card. It's going to probably make a big attack. He put 6 in Pacific.
Well,
4
no,
Moscow, 19
it says Ark. He discarded an order priority.
Oh, he discarded it. What?
I'm not sure why he did that.
That may have been a misclick or something. I don't know why you would discard that.
Either way, though, if you watch ahead, he got lucky here and got his first move in first. That's
he does
big.
go into. Oh yeah, that is big. Moving into
yeah,
Tibet.
he managed to get his
Oh,
first move in.
that's painful.
Took Tibet. Ouch. And then Hedja took back Pakistan. Ooh. But let's see if. Oh no. Ark did not take back Pakistan. Okay. So he didn't come out completely ridiculously far behind.
He does get West US. He does finish off West US.
Yep. Hedge is pretty far behind right here. And he's got an enemy that is right in the middle of his stuff. And threatening him in West Russia as well.
Cards.
Ooh.
Oh, maximum cards you can hold is 4. So yeah, he was at max cards. That's why he had to discard that.
Well,
I didn't think about that.
You can't use the order priority?
No, he could have used
mass
it.
cards? I mean, the thing is, he needed his first move to get to Tibet, so wouldn't you want to use it? Just saying.
Yeah, he should have used it. But okay, so we see him getting West US. He's now ahead by 12 reinforcements after 15 turns. And now, turn 16, Hedja using an order priority. He's going to try to do. He's probably going to try going into Tibet. That's what he should do at least. And he also puts 9 in Moscow to defend against Ukraine. But he put Ark putting 18 in Ukraine and 14 in Tibet. Yeah, he's still going to be able to capture that. That should also allow Hedja to know exactly how many reinforcements his opponent's getting. As he starts working on towards Hawaii. And he hits Moscow. And that pretty much closes the game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think Ark. He didn't attack Pakistan, but really, I'm not sure if he needed to at this point.
I would have at least hit it with 2. At least hit it with a small amount.
I think I would have too. He's just being a little careful, and he's so far ahead at this point. He probably doesn't know how far ahead he is, but.
Okay, moving on to turn 17, the final turn. We see he puts a bunch in Ufa to defend against that, but 30 in Iran. That's gonna hurt. And he moves up to Xinjiang to move in to cover
Yeah,
Pakistan probably.
Edge already knows he's gonna lose Pakistan. He's like, yeah, I'll let him take it.
And he hits Pakistan with 47. And apparently seeing that big stack convinced him that he should just surrender already.
And he did.
And he did. So, congratulations to Arc 77 for taking out that victory against Heda. Good game. It was really close for a lot of it. Ended up in Arc's favor, though. Okay, so, moving on to the final game.
I need that link.
There.
Thank you. Thank you. Paste and go. There we go.
Yep.
Well, this
Okay.
one looks like a much quicker game.
Going back to the history, we see that Zerby and Arc in the final game for this tournament, the first ever WarLight streamed 1v1 tournament, hosted by
gosh.
Lolowut, streamed by
amazing.
Mythonian and Casey's Crag. Shameless plug. We see wastelands in Northwest Territory, Western Great Lakes, Algeria, Niger, Congo, France, and Western Siberia.
Oh, North Africa's dead.
So is West Africa. Oh,
Yeah, and
Africa's
that
not
Congo's
at all a
that's
good
pretty
starting
important.
location in this game. Possible starting locations. Not really seeing any one territory bonuses that you can get.
Yeah, me either. It seemed pretty spread out, these guys. They tend to be in the middle of the bonus instead of touching other bonuses.
Yep.
Although,
Oh,
wait, West Russia could be taken in one
West
turn.
Russia. Oh, yeah, it could. That's probably the only one though. I don't see any other.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh wait, no, not quite Indonesia.
I spy with my little eye.
Okay, so people might go into Antarctica, possibly South Africa if they want to try to gain that, because there's two territories touching that. Otherwise, West Russia, Central Russia, Scandinavia, Middle East, Southeast Asia are probably, and East China. Those starting locations all seem pretty good. Central America could be done. It seems
Yeah.
slow to expand though, because
Well,
you can't really.
it's not bad if you have positions elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like if you had South America and Central America, it's not too bad. Central America's not a bad spot.
Okay. Well, we can see that Arc, first pick, Mexico. Second
Huh.
pick, Georgia. Third
He
pick,
agrees with me,
Pakistan.
Matthew. He agrees with me.
Fourth pick, Brazil. Fifth pick, Tomsk. Sixth pick, Ufa. So he's trying to go for both. His pick in Georgia is pretty interesting. For a second pick, probably more long-term pick instead of short-term. He's got two of the smaller picks, Southeast Asia and Central America, and then a larger pick, Caucasus. Although he may use that, assuming that someone may go into West Russia, and he can do that to try to counter it, or something.
That's true. That's it. It doesn't seem like that bad a spot in Georgia. It just depends on what else he gets.
And then he's got an alternate pick in Brazil, which he can use, assuming he doesn't get one of his first ones. He might be able to either prevent someone from getting Central America, or be able to help it get all of South America in 3 turns. If he doesn't get Southeast Asia.
I think he'd be able to get all of Caucasus on turn 3. Well, yeah, he'd move stuff from, let's
Yeah,
see,
he
second turn, he'd be able to get all of Central America, and yeah, Caucasus doesn't seem like a bad spot, especially if you get Pakistan or Tomsk or Ufa. Either one of those.
You couldn't really get this in 2 turns if you went.
No, 3 turns.
No, I mean that's what Lolowut said. Yeah, 3 turns. Yeah, 2 turns. You would need more than 5 reinforcements to get that in 2 turns. Okay, so comparing that to Zerby, we see Zerby focusing in Scandinavia, then Ufa, then Xinjiang, alternates being Papua New Guinea, Brazil, and Scott. So, some interesting comparisons with Ark putting that one in Georgia. He's going to see Ufa right off the bat, and then in Xinjiang compared to Pakistan, we may see something there.
Yeah, I like Zerby's. His picks are just pretty balanced, spread out. It's pretty
Okay,
standard, I guess.
moving on to the first turn. We see Ark in Mexico, going to get 2 territories there, putting his other guys in Georgia since he's touching Ufa. Zerby, I think I mixed up the names a second ago, I don't know. 2 in Ufa, 3 in Finland, going to work on getting West Russia, apparently. Then he goes into India, Ark does, and then Ark goes Baja and Panama, while Zerby goes into Norway, and then Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tries to attack Georgia with only 2.
Yeah, that was... I already know why he did that. He just did it because there's a chance he could move out to take Western Kazakh, and he's like, well, if he moves out, I'll be able to take his original spot. That's all.
Yep. Okay, so that's turn 1. Moving on to turn 2. Ark in Mexico, putting enough there to get Cuba. Zerby putting enough in Norway to attack both with 3. Xinjiang putting some there to hit Shanghai, probably. And then Ark putting 1 in India. I don't know why you would only put 1.
I honestly am not sure either. I'll just put one guy over there. I can't do anything with him, but hey.
Yep, and he doesn't attack with it. He just sits it there. If you had 1 extra guy, it would probably be better to put it in Georgia or something to prevent you from losing that.
Yeah, that's true.
But we see that that's all for that turn. Moving on to turn 3, Zerby puts enough in East China to get that, as Ark puts a lot in Georgia to get Ufa, and puts 2 in India to get the next territory. And he does indeed get that first move.
This timing is pretty ugly. Oh.
And then he moves into Myanmar to threaten Hong Kong and also be 1 territory away from getting Southeast Asia, right as Zerby finishes off East China.
Ooh, that timing. If he had just done that 1 turn earlier, been able to take Myanmar, things could have been different. But, oh, poor guy. I feel for him. Him.
So, after turn 3, we see Zerby with 12, Ark with 8.
Ouch.
Oh,
he's
11.
ahead, and he's got... He can defend that bonus very easily if he uses his stuff right. And he does. Oh, yeah. There's no problem there. It's down 11 guys. Let's see what moves we have here. Ark takes the bonus in Thailand.
And he works on West Russia as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Zerby hits Myanmar with 3, does not quite take it. But he hits Thailand with 5 and captures that.
5, well, he was attacking 2, so can understand that. Good moves by Zerby. He's way ahead right now. He's got positional advantage in Southeast Asia. He doesn't really like being threatened in 2 bonuses in 2 places, but...
Well, we see that both people used their reinforcement cards on turn 5, as Zerby deployed 4 in Hong Kong and then 13 in Finland. Conversely, Ark in 3 in Arkhangelsk, 5 in Moscow, and then 5 in India.
Yep, I think Zerby made just some perfect moves there.
Oh yes, prevented him from getting Murmansk, and then prevented Ark from getting the bonus.
Yeah, really, those the moves that he made that I see here are the ideal moves.
Yep, and then after that,
and they work out perfectly.
Zerby hits Myanmar and Moscow. So that gives Zerby very, very good positioning and really, in a lot of ways, seals the game. He's no longer threatened at any of his bonuses. He's just able to push out from there in all directions.
And although Central America is very safe right now, that's the problem is that's the only bonus he has. And he's in trouble. While Zerby, whenever he expands into Ark's territories, he'll be able to get more bonuses.
Yep.
And Ark won't be able to. So it's pretty much over.
And as Ark is losing what he was trying to get before, he's not in a position to get anything else. He could try getting South America, but that would take way too long.
And every time he places guys elsewhere, Zerby is able to expand in the places he was previously in.
So moving on to turn 6. Ark puts a few in India, and then 5 in Venezuela, because he is indeed trying to work on South America, apparently. As Zerby puts some in Myanmar, a few in Thailand. Apparently he's going to expand into Indonesia.
Apparently Zerby thought that he didn't know he was as far ahead as he thought as he actually was, because he blockades Murmansk.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess he thought he was more at risk than he actually was. But, well, it didn't matter anyway, I think.
Huh. Yeah, he captures like every territory in West Russia and then blockades it. That's an interesting series of events.
Yeah. Man, those blockade cards.
Yeah. Okay, so we see Ark putting some in Vorkuta to try to prevent him from getting the bonus because he didn't see the blockade. And then Zerby putting a lot in Myanmar.
Oh, that's funny.
To go offensive
I
there.
gotta say, that's funny.
Yeah. As Ark captures Bolivia, so now he's in a position to get the rest of the South America bonus. And while that happens, Zerby gets India.
Yeah, and Ark knows he's behind here, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Now, what I would have done this turn, instead of just putting those 2 in India, I probably would have put some in Pakistan and blockaded Pakistan.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think I would have too. Maybe he just
I would have completely given this up and just blockaded it so we couldn't get it.
Oh yeah. But then again, this is also a very fast game, and sometimes it's hard to think of every possibility, every series of moves that you could make. So,
yeah.
Can't blame him too much for it. He probably still would have lost, so. Although it would have been a much more even game if he did that, because then... But the thing is, he also didn't know about Murmansk being blockaded. He would assume that... I mean, you can't blockade both of those, and it's sort of lucky that your opponent just did it for you. But he didn't see that, so...
But anyways, seeing that big stack in India... and seeing that he's going to have a hard time, he's going to have to use pretty much everything to get South America, he decided that after those turns, he's going to go ahead and surrender, giving Zerby the victory.
Mm-hmm.
So,
overall, that's a pretty funny way to end it, because if you think about it, if Ark had blockaded Pakistan, and with that blockade in Murmansk, it's actually much more of an even game after taking South America, but, well... Oh man, how's Ark supposed to know that Zerby would blockade Murmansk? Seriously.
Well, we can see that from from his profile. He's a relatively new player. He's been playing for about 7.5 months. Only played 116 ranked games though, but he's won 73 of them, so that's pretty good win rate overall. 65% 1v1s. Hasn't played that big of a variety of games though.
Well, that's because he likes 1v1s.
Well, he showed that today as he's the first ever victory of the WarLight Livestream tournaments. Yes.
Congratulations, Zerby. Round of applause.
Okay, in terms of like a spectator mode, turn off fog, things like that. I don't know, it kind of messes up their games because they already know where everybody's located. So it would be interesting to do it. It would definitely change how people would need to play the game.
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. Personally, if I mean, assuming like, you know, later on or whatever, just having like a neutral spectator, maybe someone who is specified in the rule in the settings of the game, be able to spectate it and have full vision, which is effectively similar as a history, except while the game's ongoing instead of afterwards. That would probably be a preferable spectator mode.
But at the same time, that means you have to trust that person, so
Yeah, I mean,
they cannot be corruptible.
because otherwise it's like, oh yeah. You can delay it. You can. There's multiple options for delay. I can delay it by several minutes. I don't know the exact limit on delays.
Yeah, that delaying is not a problem at all.
Let me see if I can find that out actually.
I'll be right back.
Okay, there's something. Huh. Um, did the stream just shut down? Huh, that was strange for me. It says I'm offline right now. That's so, but I'm not offline. You guys can hear me, right? Huh. Okay. Well, whatever. We'd have to look at the stream to see as the game ends. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure exactly the limits on delaying videos, but I can delay the stream. Seeing if I can find out. Stream delay, stream delay, stream delay.
All right, I'm back. What?
Nothing. You didn't miss much.
Well, are we still streaming?
Yes. Hold on.
Okay.
Trying to find out about stream delay.
Yeah, delaying the stream isn't a problem. Can't delay it until the game ends, though. Or can you? Yeah, we'd not delay the game itself. It's the broadcast of the game.
Okay, yeah, on Twitch, um, it's a partner-only feature, and I'm not partnered with Twitch, so
Well, darn.
I'm not sure. But I can do it through XSplit, but I don't think that's this. I don't think it's only like a few minutes at the most or something.
Hmm.
Um, no, we could not delay it like a half hour or something. That would probably not be viable.
Darn.
Hmm. Huh.
Then I guess we just have to wait until the end of the game to do it.
Maybe. Okay, hold on. Let me